Hi Bobby, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you are my online student, you're working very hard, and today working on my lessons around thought groups and blending. And the main thing is you're not pausing too much. And at the end of each thought group, except for the final thought group, your tone needs to be a little bit higher so we can understand what you're saying. Alright?
Hi Michael, this is Bobby. Today I'm going to post Speak Clearly lesson number 41.
Alright.
Paragraph ready.
Don't forget, pose. I'm going to pose. Make that O longer. Pose.
Many of the sports which the ancient Greek practiced, which made a part of their Olympics, still survive in some way or other in sports which we practice today.
Yeah, I would say probably some trouble with and. So I would read this sentence like this. Many of the sports the ancient Greeks practiced, which made a part of the Olympics, still survive in some way or other in the sports we practice today. That's probably how I would read that particular sentence. So a little bit of trouble with your pausing, but you practice and wish.
Motivation, however, about practice far is in motivation that one can understand emphasis on math skills such as wrestling, boxing, the javelin, and running.
Good on those. You have rising, wrestling, boxing, javelin, and running. So that was good. This word you had a bit of trouble with, war.
But include such direct applicable discuss jumping. However, as interview in sports and competition on sports added, but these sports courses stood the test of time, which have continued to practice in simple form right to the present. Wrestling is regarded as the most important it is in ancient Greek, a very cholesterol.
Let's say practice and take the D, combine it to the sound. The most important sport practices in ancient Greece. Practice in ancient Greece.
Indicates importance in Greek life. Not nearly as high as this time as for over the world in distance of each other, and can strive wrestling fighting for the useful in art.
Yeah, I'll say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll be honest with you here, you're probably about 5 on this
one. Hi
Michael,
this is Bobby. I'm going to post another.
Okay, so let's read this one together. I want you to practice this one a few more times until you're comfortable reading more or less at the same pace, rhythm, tone as I do. You ready? Many of the sports which the ancient Greeks practiced and which made up part of their own Olympics still survive in some way or other in the sports which we practice today. Their motivation, however, was for practice for war, and it is in such motivation that one can understand the emphasis on martial skills such as wrestling, boxing, the javelin, and running, while still including such less directly applicable sports as discus and jumping. Over time, as interest grew in sport and competition alone, new sports were added, but it was these core sports which stood the test of time and which have continued to be practiced in similar form right up to the present day. The very wrestling must be regarded, wrestling must be regarded as the most important sport practiced in ancient Greece. The very name palestra, wrestling school, must indicate its importance in Greek life. Nor need we be surprised at this, for all over the world in cultures far distant from each other, one can find styles of wrestling and fighting, for it is a useful skill in war.
Exercise, which is Speak Clearly lesson number 42, speaking, listening activity.
Alright.
Speaking, listening activity 4, and scramble the thought groups. Number 1. The rowdy student was eventually sent to talk with the principal. Number 2. Most firefighters report having injuries on the job fighting fires. Number 3.
Okay, let's go back to this. So you're kind of,
Hi Michael, this is
so you're kind of putting them together. Okay, let's take a look at this one.
I'm going to post another exercise, which is Speak Clearly lesson number 42.
Okay.
Speaking, listening activity.
All right.
Speaking Listening Activity 4,
All right.
and scramble the thought groups. Number 1. The rowdy student was eventually sent to talk with the principal.
All right.
Number 2. Most firefighters report having injuries on the job fighting fires. Number 3. A good accountant helps a business reduce taxes during tax season. Number 4. A happy couple knows how to solve problems during times of crisis.
Okay.
Number 5. Competent lifeguards can swim long distances in the ocean.
Good, you corrected it. First you said distance, but then you remembered distances. So very nice self-correction.
6. Police officers may make arrests at riotous soccer games.
Okay.
Number 7. The intuitive pastor will deliver an applicable sermon to his congregation. Number 8. Competitive salespersons will sell automobiles at discounted prices on most holidays.
Okay.
Number 9. A construction worker often does road work at night so as to avoid causing traffic jams. Number 10. Firearms should not be used by people with criminal records.
Okay. And that last word, it depends how you're using it. You're using it here as a noun, so the stress is on the first syllable, by people with criminal records. You said more records, so put stress on that first syllable, not the second. But overall, I think you did a pretty good job unscrambling and reading those sentences and focusing on the thought groups. All right, so overall, I think you're in pretty good shape here. You're doing a great job. You know what? I'm looking forward to, you're almost done with all the pronunciation exercises, right? So I look forward to you beginning or you will begin to post speaking practice tests, right? So you'll do some integrated and some independent speaking practice tests. So anyway, keep up the good work.